Hello, I'm Loosemore and you join me for a design discussion. I want to look a little bit at, I suppose it falls into the mechanics category, and looking at the weight of a game. This is a term that we use, that we throw around. Oh, this is a light game, this is a heavy game, this is a medium weight game, or it's a medium heavy game. And what does that mean? We're clearly not talking about the physical mass. This is a physically heavy game, this is 20 kilos, this is only like 2 kilos. That's not what we're talking about. Generally what people are referring to is two things, depth and complexity. They are the things that give a game its weight, by my understanding. And they are subtly different. A complex game is a game that generally will have a lot of rules, but it's more that your choices are wide and varied, and the physical action is not so simple. They're complex, as the name suggests. Even something like Pandemic, let's use a very popular game, is more complex than it is deep, because you've got, I think it's 3 action points that you can do, and here's a list of things that you can do, and you've got to figure out why you want to do any of those things. So which ones should I do? So that's quite a complex decision, because there's a wide decision space. Some worker placement games where there are lots of spaces out on the board are complex. There are lots of choices, and I have to weigh up each individual choice, but the depth of those choices is quite superficial. If I go here, I'm going to get that thing. That's it. If I go here, I'm going to get this other thing. That's it. That's the level of choice. Obviously, there'll be some more depth, because why do you want those things? But the other side of it is depth, that I've talked about, where the physical action, what you have to do, is quite limited actually, but why you do any of those things matters more. So not which of these 100 things are you going to choose, but out of these 3, 4, maybe 5 things, which one are you going to choose? Hopefully, because there's a reason, a deeper understanding required as to why each of these limited choices might be better. So let's say for depth, the Scythe, a game I like talking about because I love the game. Typically, to start with, you only have 4 actions that you can take. There are 4 slots on your player board, and your turn is taken up by taking your marker and putting it on one of those 4 things. That's it. That's the whole game. That's all you ever need to do, is move your marker to one of your 4 action slots. That's it. That is not complex. But why you do each of those, and as the game goes on, those actions get better, and you upgrade one and then unlock the stuff beneath, so that within one action slot it gets a little bit more complex. You have a top action and a bottom action that you can start using, and start either building mechs, or farming for resources, or recruiting people and getting bonuses, or fighting the other people around you. There's all these things that are a result of that very simple choice. Simple in the sense of not complex, not simple in it's obviously that one. If it's obviously something, it's probably not that deep. I prefer depth to complexity. If I sit there, read rules, let's say Robinson Crusoe, a cooperative game, I've played it and I was taught it and it was fine. There's a lot of rules. It's a complex game. There's depth to it as well, of course there is, but it's a very complex game. I got it in a trade and I was super excited. The production's amazing. I laid it out ready to go for a solo game. I read through the rules, got to the end of the rules and went, I still don't think I know how to even take a turn. The rules are good, they're well done. There's just a lot of stuff to understand, a lot of complex ideas that all intertwine and connect together, and you kind of need to understand the whole thing. So I need to go back and read it again and set it out again and figure it all out and go, and there's depth there as well, because if I do this simple thing that I've now finally understood from the complexity, that might impact the whole thing. So there's depth there as well. That's a good combination of both, but it's so complex that the entry to playing is higher. And that's probably why I prefer depth over complexity, because I spend a lot of time teaching new games, teaching games to people that have never played them before, let's put it that way. And so I like games that are, I can just go, look, you're only going to do this super simple thing. Glenmore, you're just going to move around your piece and take one of the tiles. That's it. That's your only decision. It's just which of the tiles to take. That's it. That's your physical action done. Why you might want to do that is because of all these other things. And actually the depth of choice is there. And so a new player can go, I don't know what to do. And I can just say, well, just do something. Scythe, I did move. Why don't you pick one that isn't move? And they've now only got 3 choices. Okay, let's just do that. Okay, let's explore what implications that has. That's the balance I like. I'd love to hear what you enjoy. Hopefully that explained the two clearly enough. If not, ask more questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. But complexity or depth, which do you prefer? Which are you looking for? Maybe you don't like any of them. You like nice, light games that give you very narrow choices, and the results of those are quite superficial and just nice and easily chug along. There is always space for light games. You don't have to love heavy games. Ticket to Ride is a relatively light game. What are you doing? You get cards or play cards. That's it. That's your decision choice. And you're just getting different colours. Why? Just to put things out on the map, to connect routes. So it's not complex and it's not very deep, but it's a lot of fun. There is always room for a wide range of games. I'm not making a comment on preferences, but I would love to hear yours, just to have that discussion, see what people like. So that's complexity and depth building up to a game's weight. That'll do. If you've enjoyed this or found it helpful, consider subscribing to the channel if you don't already, and hit the bell icon so you stay updated when I put out new things. And just search Win Some Loosemore in the usual social media platforms. You'll find me. I'd love to get in touch with you and hear from you soon. So I'll be back soon with another one of these. I've been Dieter for Win Some Loosemore. Goodbye.